Welcome back with Mr. Kaura and the economics. Okay, this is about economic assumption. Okay, this is your revision for the third subunit of the introduction to economics. Okay, the assumption actually is a guess that is a smart guess, so we believe on it. Yeah, so what is the economic assumption is actually a foundational belief that hold by an economist, a government, or business organization to better understand the customer and the consumer and how they will behave and business behavior also when making economic decision. So they will make this decision with a wisdom, okay, in allocating again scarcity because the resource is scarce. Yeah. So therefore, actually, this is only like repetition. Economic assumption is our belief, like the government or the economist belief or the business organization holder board belief to build economic theories. So it's also only theory is like hypothesis in science, which is not always true, but it's a smart guess. So therefore, yeah, we can build theory by using it to predict how human behave, how consumers spend their money, how consumers spend their resource. So we can predict the market and so on, and it's guide us to make a decision, a good decision. Even for the government, they can predict whether it will be a riot or not. Yeah. So therefore, they have to study this one. They have to make assumption, a very good assumption. Okay, why the economic assumption is being made? Because the condition of scarcity, there is always a scarcity. Nonsense, there is no scarcity. Even in yourself, also, if you have unlimited one and limited resource, maybe you don't think that you in limitation of money, but somehow the other resource may be limited for you. Okay, so the second one, because we facing scarcity, so we have to do trade-off. Remember what is trade-off? Trade-off is actually another choice that we not choose due to we choose the best one, the most satisfy us. So including our opportunity cost. Yeah. So trade-off is including the opportunity cost, the next best thing that we not choose. And other best thing that other things that we not choose. That is trade-off. Okay. And then every people have our own perspective, on motive, on self-interest. So satisfaction also will be depend on the self-interest. And then every people will be do rational thinking to balance cost and benefit. They will tend to maximize benefit and minimize cost. That is normal, and that is happen. Is the economic assumption always be in good graph, and it's actually models, not the real situation is model. So it's sometimes it's not reliable, it's not valid, but however it's still better but than if you don't have anything to hold on. So this is the belief that actually better because we have something to hold on. Yeah, is when even though its simplification is only models. Yeah, so this one in the importance. So it's simplified, so therefore we can predict the reaction easier, and it's model building, so we can like transfer it into other model, into other situation. And this is the basic why how they make the assumption. The assumption is because all people are rational. Remember that is we are the thing that I said in the class. We are Homo sapiens. That means we have the same mindset with God. We are imago Dei. So therefore, we are rational enough. And scarcity of resources always happen. Yeah. It's never, it cannot be avoidable. Yeah, it's unavoidable. And we have to make trade-off. We have to make choice. Yeah, and it's modeling in a charts. Yeah, so therefore there is a risk if you to trust to our assumption, the economic assumption first. Assumption can becoming obsolete or irrelevant if you make it in the previous time and you try to apply it in present time. For example, nowadays there is elevated of price, there is inflation in Indonesia. So therefore, it's impossible if you use the same assumption that you use, for example, like 10 years ago or 15 years ago. Yeah, you cannot use it. Yeah. And basic assumptions say people take rational decision, which not always true because people has motive. Yeah, they can have feeling, they can have compassion, they can have anything else that actually affect on their rational decision. So people is not always take the best decision, the most rational one. Yeah, that is people. Human always have different motives. So therefore, in social studies, I always repeat the most important thing is not always about your answer is whether is correct or not, but your reason. So anything should have reason. Yeah. And then this can make this model and theories unreliable, sometimes even not valid to some extent. Okay. And then this is the thing that I said to you that is the most important thing. Yeah. As an economic assumption is the assumption that we make because we think that human is rational being. Yeah, so every human will make rational thinking based on their clear thought or reason, and then they will choose the thing that give them greatest satisfaction, greatest benefit. Yeah, satisfaction is for consumer, but financial result for the businessman, for the producer. Okay, for the side of consumer always aim to maximize benefit, while businessman or producer aim to maximize their profits because they want to maximize, yeah, the satisfaction for them. Yeah, and there is some variable that may affect the assumption, like inflation that I have already explained, unemployment, the trend of consumer spending, like when the Labubu goes viral, everyone want to buy it, even though maybe it's not worth it. Okay. And also how many wages, wage that the people held, how rapid the information come to the people. Actually, in this era where and internet is everywhere, TikTok is everywhere, Instagram and other social is everywhere. Information is very easy to spread. So people will know, oh, there is a thing there that anyone that don't want to be foremost should save it, should buy it, or should do it. That is actually how information affect economic assumption. Sometimes, if there is a fear and we are FOMO, fear of missing out, we just if we will do the unrational thing, which is we will buy whatever is it. Yeah. So this is actually sometimes consumer is cannot maximize their benefit. Why? It's supposed to be the consumer will choose the cheapest option. For example, I have Oni and I have Kara. Which one is the cheapest one? For sure, Oni, because Oni is already in bahasa ya. I said buluk because Oni is already old enough ya. Yeah, I will choose the cheapest one Oni maybe. Or if the product have the same price, for example, Oni and Kaura have the same price, I will choose the best quality. For now, yeah, Kaura is the best quality because he is pretty new. Yeah. So therefore, people tend to choose the cheapest option if the distance is not the limitation, and tend to choose the best quality to increase their satisfaction. However, how can you calculate satisfaction? How can you calculate benefit? For example, if I have to choose buying a new elephant doll or install a Wi-Fi, or maybe I made about new glasses because my eyes is not longer as best as before. Which one is the give me the best satisfaction? You cannot measure it, right? Because yeah, maybe for me, because I love elephant dolls that much, the best thing is yeah to buy a new elephant. But actually, I also have another reason, right? Sometimes, oh, I have too much elephant. There is no place at all for new elephant at my home. So maybe the next best thing is to install Wi-Fi so I can do scrolling sosmed without any boundary at all anymore. Yeah, and also the other thing is about brand loyalty. Yeah, if as I have said to you, I always use the same shampoo since like 20 years ago. That the brand is DD, which is it's a cheap one actually. But even though there is cheaper shampoo, I will not move because it's our my brand loyalty that I believe that this shampoo is the best for me. And also sometimes people like I said to you before, which one do you prefer, Indomie or Mie Sedap? And you said Indomie because the taste maybe you think always better than Mie Sedap or other brand. That is brand loyalty. The next one influenced by other behavior. For example, your friend, you eat out with your friend, and then your friend just said, let's share this food together, and you follow his or her decision. That is influenced by the behavior of other. Sometimes we're not doing only based on our choice, but to satisfy other also, maybe due to friendship or due to other reason. That is actually normal. Yeah, and sometimes it hinder us to maximize our benefit. Okay, and then producer is not always to maximize their profit. The tendency is a producer always choose the cheapest raw material available so they can have the lowest price of raw material to make their product, and they will sell the product as highest price under that market still can accept, so they can maximize revenue. This is revenue, not profit. Yeah, profit is different thing. Profit is actually if you sell product, for example, you sell maybe $30 like Kaura, and then you divide by the price of the raw materials and the price of production and so on, you will get the profit. Actually, that is the profit. So as I said before, the more the product that you make, actually it will lead you to this economies of scale. That means the price, the first thing you will, it will lead you to economies of scale, which is the more the product you made, the more profit that you get. But in the one points, it will lead you to this economies of scale. Because if the product is cannot be sold, your profit will be minimized rather than maximized. So revenue and profit is different thing. Revenue is basically how much the market can accept your product, how much price, in what price that your product can be sold. That is the revenue. However, the profit is actually if you divide all your product by the price of the raw materials and the price of the production, and then how much money that you get from one product, that is profit. So therefore, there is somehow not maximize the revenue is not always maximize the profit. Yeah, even though if you sell too much product, if there is this economies of scale, because the price of the product getting lower, you still don't get the maximum profit. So why people sometimes the producer something do not aim to maximize profit? First, maybe that decision is influenced by other people motive. For example, if even in the book, the salesperson need to maximize their profit, so therefore they will get more commission. But actually, the producer will think differently because they understand that revenue is not always same with the profit. Yeah. And maybe also other people that you delegate your work have other thinking also, like especially, for example, that is my friend. So therefore, even though he's not too good in making the product, I will accept him to help me. So therefore, the amount of product that you produce may be not as much as usual because of this person that you hire, that the other people hire. That is how the maximization of profit can be influenced by other people. Sometimes the motive is not always from the owner of the business or from the producer itself, but other people that you delegate to the work. And also, producer have alternative business objective. Producer not always has purely money oriented objective. Yeah, for example, they maybe want to make the product to increase the job opportunity to the people. That is social enterprise. So therefore, yeah, they not always tend to maximize the profit. Or maybe the producer have charity issue, or I mean they want to do charity because they look like the situation. Or maybe, for example, if there is a pensioner that's still doing something to work, for example, to sell food, usually they don't aim to the maximize the profit, but they aim to spend their time. So that is other alternative business objective. It's not always about money. And also some business is a charity-based operation, like NGO that open production of mat, so the people around there can use their skill to make mat and then sell it, and without any aim to achieve the most of the profit in the mean of money. They want to grow and develop the community. That is different thing actually. So therefore, not always producer able to maximize their profit due to several things. Yeah, that's all for this third unit. Bye. Bye also, Cora. Bye.